Guys, thanks and welcome back to the channel, Princess LiteFut Radio. And yeah, I am going to be making a series of videos. I didn't near under my arms yet. 1 second. Not sure I'm gonna go do that. But like, yeah, no. I really enjoy the videos, and I am just like, I learned what I learned how to do on YouTube was so absolutely very cool. And guys, I don't know what to say. Like, if you have a passion for doing something, or if you like doing something, if you love doing something, keep on doing that thing. I literally would get stuck on editing the videos so much. I just was like, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna get this up here, and I don't have time to watch like tutorials and the redirections. So I taught myself how to do this thing, and I landed a career in doing this. And then there was another career that I found when I was on my way, learning this shit. And it's like, great. So out of the whole thing of the channel getting monetized, it was great. I'm grateful for it. It's just that it didn't happen like I thought it was gonna happen. And I feel like you have to give your literal soul to YouTube in order to make like comfortable money. And I don't know. I think I'm better out there in the public. But in any event, I'll probably cut all that out. But like, yeah, so I've become like extremely busy in like my business life. So basically, I was wondering about this whole BBL smell thing. Am I fucking recording? Okay. This grass is so good, it's gonna make me want to take a shit. About this whole BBL smell. Because at first I I thought legit that the reason why the girls were having a smell is because like every time I saw a girl with BBLs have really long nails, you know what I'm saying? But not like this. This is like standard below. You know what I mean? The really long nails. And even if you don't have super long nails and you get a huge big ass, that's like a lot of meat. And you're not used to cleaning all that meat. Like you're not used to getting to your anus, getting to the root of the problem with all that meat. So I was like, bro, their asses stink because it's shit in it. And this guy, he's all like, not DELACREMEDELA. Shout out to DELACREMEDELA. She's a shit. So this guy, he's all, or is it gonna be over there? He's all like, you know, he's a BBL doctor. So today we're gonna react to his BBL smell video, him debunking is there a BBL smell or not. And I say it's because the nails is too long, but we're gonna find out actually what the smell is. See, what I do know is that when people get the gastric bypass, that shit stinks. There's like a subtle smell that's always around. I came from the healthcare field, so you're not gonna tell me nothing. Nothing about it. That stinks. Now, what I didn't do was work for a plastic surgeon for very long. And the one I worked for, he was mainly he was a boob doctor. He did boobs. That's all I seen was little statues of boobs, fake boobs, little sculptures, little like plastic, kind of like, but look real boobs, all kind of things. Coming in there, chaperoning him, measuring boobs, you know. So BBL smell with this guy.
Smell, or the phrase BBLs be smelling, is going viral on social media. People are claiming that women who undergo BBL surgeries smell bad afterwards. Is that true? Let's hear what some people are saying.
BBL smells. It's trendy.
Oh.
And there are
And I was going to say at this time, you know, please, you know, if you like the video so far, like the video and don't forget to share the video and subscribe to the channel. I don't really understand that, like, as soon as you click on the video, and this is coming from a subscriber and content creator perspective, because I am heavy on YouTube watching more than I am creating. And I don't understand why content creators are saying, as soon as the show come on, they're saying, like the video, share the video, you know, like the video, And if I ever said it before, that's because I done became a robot child. I mean that. You know, wait to see if you like it, then like it. Just don't forget to like it. You know what I'm saying? But it's kind of just like, why is you gonna like something off the break? I don't know.
The reasons for that smell.
So I don't know what he was trained in, if he's a physician, if he is in the medical field, but
I gotta pause. I gotta shit. It's gotta happen.
obviously has some of his own ideas. Now, first of all, before we hear what his thoughts are, what is a BBL? The BBL stands for Brazilian Butt Lift. And this is an operation where you liposuction fat from one part of the body, like the thighs, the hips, or the abdomen. We purify the fat and then inject it into the buttocks as a way to enlarge them. We make little incisions in the buttocks to inject the fat, and then about half the fat or so will stay long term. And this is the most common way that people basically.
So if he says that they purify the fat, that means that the fat in the form that it's in already is not suitable to go where it's going. So it has to undergo a process first to purify it. So then my question is, well, is it going to stay purified inside of me? Like first of all, I have too many quirks about things. Like even now, so I do not wear like I can't wear like wigs. I can't wear like that whole wig thing. I can't deal with that. I tried that one time and like, it's like on my forehead and I just feel it, you know what I'm saying? I can't have like a lot of snot in my nose because I can't even have a boogie in my nose. Like the best thing for me is right now talking because I'm not focused on my nose. I have a YouTube short where I'm telling people how they can get it out, you know? And I mean, that's really disgusting. Maybe it's something I'll do on OnlyFans where I'll I'll show you how like I blow my nose. You have to have on a shirt that you don't want, that you're willing to get rid of. I'll say that, okay? And you know what I mean? And it's bad, but you angle it at the hump and you blow and it's like it comes out. I found another area like here down the bottom. You blow and it comes out. See, like if you have a bulbous nose like me, you can blow your nose here and press here and right here, and it comes out. If something's in my throat, I'll literally cough and press here and it'll come up. I mean, I'm not a gross girl, but I don't like things like secretions and stuff. I don't want those things in me. And when you blow out the boogies, why do they look like bugs and worms and things that were alive in the air and dust? And now that they're inside of you, where it's wet and you're 80% water, then they've gained a body and now they're alive. I can't.
enlarge their rear ends.
If someone has had a normal size behind for all of their life, and then they switch
See what I'm
up,
saying?
and now they got this big
Pause.
BBL,
Blow my nose.
they have to reach back there and really clean. You know what I'm saying? And if they're not used to doing that, they might not know that, hey, you sweat differently. Everything is different when you add that much more meat back there.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was saying. And then we have to go to commercial. Perfect. That's what I was saying. I literally, duh. And he's a man. He's smelled enough BBLs to know what's going on. So what does the doc say?
To clean back there when your butt is so much bigger. And not having had a BBL, I can't say for sure if that's true, but I guess theoretically that could be the case. It's just harder to maybe reach back there.
Yeah. When you get a BBL, your ass is so rock hard. Like I could barely get toilet paper and like a hand between my butt cheeks, let alone like an enema. And that thing is tiny.
So there is truth here. When you undergo a BBL surgery, depending on how much fat is injected into the butt can feel real hard and firm. And this is something, I used to do BBLs back in the day. I don't do them anymore. And even the ones that I did, I would only inject maybe 300 or 400 cc's into each butt cheek. Now, how much is 300 or 400 cc's? Well, it's about 1/3 to 1/2 of a 1 liter canister, or let's say a quarter of a 2 liter. So we're not talking a huge amount of fluid. And that much was enough oftentimes to cause a butt to feel pretty firm and hard. Well, there are doctors who are injecting literally 1 liter or even 2 liters into each butt cheek. And if that's the case, can you imagine how hard those butts will be afterwards?
I think that girls just aren't wiping good enough or cleaning between their butt cheeks after they do the number 2 good enough. And that's what's stinking. So if you get a BBL, I suggest this to anyone, but I highly suggest using baby wipes to wipe.
So that tends to be the most common hypothesis of why BBLs smell, is that people just aren't able to wipe back there as well as they ideally should. One other option other than baby wipes, though, is to get a bidet, because that's a great way to clean your bottom without having to kind of really reach back there. But there are other
But you still
theories
gotta
that are being
wipe.
presented for the BBL smell of why this is happening. So let's hear from a
You still have to wipe. You just don't have a bidet. Just rinse your ass. Like you need to scrub it and soap. If I have a real messy shit, I'm using soap. I'm getting like my ass in the tub and it's washcloth. I mean, and you know shit still be coming out. So I'm like, damn, you ever cleaned your ass? You did the dry toilet paper, you did the wet toilet paper, and then you just like, oh my gosh, you did the dry toilet paper again to make sure. You're like, what the fuck is going on? You got to get in there. And some people got real close together. This is not, you know what I mean?
guy who I think looks like a real expert at BBL.
And in the club, sometimes it do leave a little trail. You know, like we could be in the section and it could be like 2 or 3 baddies.
The baddies,
And you feel like, who the hell got cheesy fries? You know, like, you know, something don't smell right. It ain't the champagne, it ain't the Hennessy.
Who don't got cheesy fries?
When they bundled up together, it's like a trash pile, you know.
I mean, trash pile?
Trash pile? Oh, no, that trash
baddie
pile.
Really commonly used?
But I guess
This is the first I've heard of the term BBL baddie.
Not all of them, but you gotta understand, it's like physics. If you was a chick that was like, all right, 150, right? 150 pounds, and then you got a BBL. So the BBL made you probably like 170, 180. You're not used to that go around.
Okay.
You're not used to that go around.
If you have a BBL, fat is taken from one part of the body and injected into the butt. So you are removing fat and then putting it back in, and then some of that fat will once again go away. Your body will absorb it. You are not adding 20 pounds of somebody else's fat to your body. So if you weigh 150 pounds before your BBL, unless you gain weight naturally by eating too much and not, moving enough, you're not going to go from 150 to 170 just because you had a BBL. It's not physics that way. That unfortunately or fortunately is not true.
Feel me? That hand to back motion, you're not used to that extra 20 pounds back then. So when you cleaning, you may miss a few little specks. You feel me? She be doing waxing and she be saying them BBL baddies be coming in with specks, and the thong was supposed to be blue, but it's brown in certain sections because they can't get that go around. You understand me?
That go around.
BBL do gotta smell.
I love how he
Say it's
speaks
supposed to
with
be
such
this, supposed to be
confidence
this,
as if he's an expert at this stuff.
And someone was Dominican, I'm gonna explain the BBL smell.
So it sounds like she is an authority on BBLs and why BBL surgery may cause somebody to smell bad because she's Dominican.
The smell doesn't come from the butt or from the vag. The smell comes from the fat excretions that are coming out.
Do tell more. Fat excretions?
So when women have liposuctions and BBLs, about 3 weeks later, all the way up to 3 weeks later, they have excretions, actually grease, that comes out of their body, and it has a putrid smell.
So why would an incision drain putrid smell 3 weeks after an operation? The only real reason why is if it's actually infected.
Right.
An infection is going to cause
I was going to say, because I don't know about that. When I worked for the boob doctor, they didn't come in afterward with like greasy boobs. Like, that's not True.
Whole lot more issues than a smell. Now, it's very common after liposuction or a BBL surgery to get a little bit of drainage for a day or two, maybe 3 days at the longest after an operation like this. You know, we get that fluid that we inject that will help to reduce bleeding that can kind of seep out through these incisions, but it's not necessarily fat that is coming out. And if it smells as bad as she's saying, then yes, you got to worry about an infection. That is not common.
So the BBL smell is not because of women's pH balance. It's not because they don't shower. It's simply because it's fat excretions that are still coming out weeks after the surgery is finally done.
Now, I know she's Dominican, but I don't think that this is true.
Don't produce a smell if somebody stinks is personal hygiene. That is completely false and untrue.
So he definitely knows. And we're going back to the first guy in the video who said that BBL stinks. So let's find out why he thinks that these stink, because he seems like he is definitely an authority at this.
As a matter of fact, you see one of the side effects of a BBL is fat necrosis, which produces an excretion of the fat that was put in, and it smells. Another lady in my comments confirms that she had a BBL and had to wait 4 months before she could do anything because of the excretions.
So fat necrosis is a known complication of BBL.
What do you mean wait 4 months before she can do anything? And it doesn't sound, that sounds like, it sounds more likely that you dated a woman that have a BBL smell, or maybe you were married, so you can't say that you dated because you didn't date her, you just had sex with her. You were talking to a woman who you wanted to have sex with, but she can't do nothing until a couple weeks. Because it's just like, I don't know why a woman would just be in your comments and saying, yeah, I couldn't do nothing. Women don't speak like that in the comments, can't do nothing. They say they can't do nothing. That means they're talking to you, because people in the comments, they're not just commenting to you. It's a comment for everybody to read. So how's everybody going to know what I can't do nothing means? Cheater.
BBL and any type of fat grafting surgery. And essentially what it is it's fat that dies. Now, most of the time when fat necrosis, it can either liquefy and the body absorbs it, or it can actually turn into a hard mass that oftentimes doesn't get reabsorbed at all. But I have never heard of fat necrosis draining through incisions and smelling really, really bad. And if fat necrosis, it doesn't necessarily leak out through incisions unless, let's say, there was some type of an infection causing that incision to open up. So I really enjoyed all these TikTokers' theories about the BBL smell, especially how they present them with such confidence. It cracks me up, and I really got to give them a round of applause because that was a lot of fun. So what do I believe the BBL smell comes from? Well, I believe that most likely it's due to personal hygiene. And if it's not due to personal hygiene, then the other potential cause of a bad smell after BBL is an infection, which hopefully is not true because that can be life-threatening. Right. Or maybe they didn't wash their compression garment very often. Most patients who undergo this operation have to wear a compression garment for several weeks, sometimes longer after the operation. And they wear them oftentimes 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And if you're not washing that garment regularly, it can stink. So I don't think that everybody who has a BBL smells bad. And one good example of somebody who I think had a BBL, and I don't
think smells bad. Yeah, all right, bye. Chill. So I was just like, you know, they really amped up the ante with the eyelashes. I can't put these things on my face. I can't have foreign objects and it won't be like that. So then I was like, okay, let me see if they come with anything innovative for the BBL. Look at this. That looks painful as hell. So what's happening? What happened?
Yeah.
Well, what did they do? What did you do? Did you know each session? 1,500 squats. So that looks safer. That looks safer. I just couldn't imagine. I think you would be cramped up. She saw it before, but ah, oh, ooh. Mhm. Ah, yeah, that should look a man. Oh wow, you back to flat. Wow. Okay, so here's the situation with all this. When you are naturally a voluptuous woman, it comes with an attitude, a way of being, a knowing, a comfortableness. And so your life is like set up to deal with that ass. You know what I mean? Also, so from what I've seen, right, in real life, women who have nice asses naturally can cook, are sweet, are quiet, you know, giddy. Some I'm in this the cases, right? Most cases. Um, so it's just like these things, these things don't go with the person. These things that the women are striving for don't go with the person. So that's why they literally don't go with the person. Now, this girl is literally saying that she got a BBL and then that happened sometime later. It just like went away. Now, remember the doctor said that the fat would like secrete. He said the fat would like secrete in the body or whatever, like it would just go away eventually. Um, so it's like on auto scroll for BBL on TikTok right now. But like, yeah, it comes with a certain persona. And I, it's like if you're not built with this thing, then you're not going to be set up to handle it. You know what I'm saying? Like an ass is something that grows with you. You know what I mean? So that's the whole thing of why women with those natural big asses don't stink because they know how to clean them. And then there's also a situation where when you have a body, you have to know how to handle that body. You know what I'm saying? How to deal with having a body like that out into the world. Because some women can be just fall in love with their bodies. And then that's just something that's kind of like a clothing that can be worn and used and gets old and you want to do. And then it just like becomes a tool. And your body should never be a tool. Not in this manner. Um, so I just, now I know that I was completely right about the smell. Like the doc said, is legit mainly a hygiene thing. That's so I would just not even want to get that shit if I was even thinking about it anymore, knowing that I'm going to stink and knowing that I'm going to be a part of a community that even if I don't stink, people are going to think I do. It's just disgusting. I would say, yeah, I would rather just. I know for a fact that this lady right here works. I use her, Lily Sabri. I love her workouts. They all work. They legit all work. And however it gets with the workout, that's kind of just how it should be. And guys, I think the main message here is just like love your freaking self. Love what he gave you. Love what he gave you. God doesn't make mistakes. Like, honestly, shout out to Jessica for achieving what he wanted to achieve, because that's literally why I made the video and also felt like he was being bullied and I don't like bullies. Um, but honestly, if we love someone, what we all genuinely hope is that you could just love yourself the way you are. And then, if there's little things you want to iron out, kinks and twinks, sure. but to the point that like we're making whole life decisions that are going to be like for the rest of our lives. Like you deal with surgery for the rest of your life. Like that's going to be on your chart, on your medical history, having had surgery. That's a big thing. Your body's been opened up and unnaturally opened up. So let's just like not, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. Love yourself, guys, and love the channel, or at least like it, like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel, and don't forget to stay tuned for the next one. Crazy BBL smell. Yikes.